My best description of autobiographical memories is they are random, intrusive memories, and as I experienced them, I felt intense negative emotional reaction to them. Conway and Plydell Pierce stated autobiographical memory is a fundamental significance for the self, for emotions, and for the experience of personhood, that is, for the experience of enduring as an individual in a culture over time. That negative, intense emotional reactions that I had lasted a very long time into my adult years. It had a very negative effect on my personality. Rubin et al. Found individuals recalled a disproportional number of autobiographical memories dating from their adolescent and young adulthood years, a phenomenon referred to as the reminiscence bump of autobiographical memories. These memories have been described as watching a movie or a play with the cast of characters the individual's mental construction of the scene, either real or imagined, happening to that person or projecting it to a separate individual. And I'll describe the negative memory in a second. Krauss Whitburn asserted that neuroticism correlated with unpleasant psychological states, including greater reactivity to stress, poor coping, and lower feelings of self efficacy or self confidence. Those memories that I described in the paper consisted of being called upon in a classroom by a teacher, being unable to answer, and sometimes, a lot of times, my classmates laughed. Another memory was with friends and peers having a discussion or argument, and whatever the response was, they laughed at me and or just insulted me, and it produced negative feelings, and it affected my personality for a very long time. Yes, very, very stressful. It never failed. Every time those memories popped up in my mind, I felt frustration, anger, humiliation, and I couldn't. I just wished I could erase them, but I didn't know. I didn't understand if they were normal. And those themes, as I just mentioned, Conway et al. Reported autobiographical memories contain knowledge at three levels, such as life periods, general events, and event specific knowledge. The life periods are periods of time with identifiable beginnings and endings and temporal knowledge of the duration of the period. Yes, my the theme of my memories was of my uh, elementary school years and I guess my middle school years. Also, these memories serve as personal narratives. That is, it's creating a story every time you recall it. You try to make sense of these memories. It's a memory. These memories, when you recall them and try to understand them, it's like creating a story, a life story of who you are. Risatal explained that a personal narrative must make sense to a listener besides understanding the details, but understanding the meaning of that event to be considered coherent. So, in other words, if the memory doesn't make sense and you, you should just disregard it because it's not worth it and valuable to try to interpret it or understand it. And as I just mentioned, those negative reactions to those memories affected me, and I avoided uh, any in real life any situations that would even have the possible chance of recreating those memories. And although later I adapted an active coping style, and it helped me reinterpret and redefine the meanings as I described in the papers almost as a moment of enlightenment. But of course, there's a scientific explanation, and that's best describes me during that time as having my head in the sand and hiding. And it also probably explained why I was a poor student and I left college abruptly a long time ago. It's had to do with those memories from the classroom, and I didn't. In hindsight, that's what it probably was. But also, when I had in my early adulthood, when I learned how to, I guess it's dealing with my emotions better. I looked back and understood, for example, the memory of the classroom. It was because I had poor vision, and it took a while before I told anyone. I got fitted with glasses, and of course, I didn't wear them because I was embarrassed and felt awkward. So I never was able to see the blackboard very clearly, and often I was unprepared for class, and that's why I could never. I was scared to answer, or never had an intelligible response for my teacher. And concerning my friends, again, in hindsight, it's such an exaggeration to think that a small moment in time of disagreement and some random friends from your childhood laughing at you, that it would create such a profound effect later in life, where you of me not wanting to voice my opinion unless I was 100% certain. And also public events, I know it took me a long time, but now again, after realizing and reinterpreting those memories, I very confident. I actually look forward to speaking in public. Of course, if I'm well prepared. And also, as Gu et al. Explained, sometimes these memories uh, vary due to distance, meaning that as the older you get and the memories become more distant, they become more vague, and it could explain the change in emotional intensity. I don't know if that was the case for me, but I think that I'm very happy that we did research on this, and it gave me a scientific explanation to how I understood those memories. Thank you.